Obstacle and adventure races like Tough Mudder and Spartan races have been growing rapidly in popularity over the past years. But with so many rigorous obstacles to overcome, what do they mean for participants' health? Hi, I'm Cynthia Washko, and here with me to help answer that is Brett Stewart, author of over a dozen fitness books, including Ultimate Obstacle Course Training, Crush the World's Toughest Courses. So Brett, these courses are pretty rigorous, but what kind of health benefits do they give to participants?
Well, any fitness activity that gets people off the couch and out being active has so many positive benefits. These races are great for so many reasons. The biggest of them are, well, it's the personal challenge that most people face. I've got a bunch of different groups that I work with, and the stories that come in from folks that normally wouldn't be active, who have changed their lifestyle, whether they're 20 or 50, and whether man or female, that have just changed their outlook on being more active through obstacle races.
Okay. Um, and now, like I said before, these are pretty rigorous, and some of those obstacles seem pretty dangerous. So what about the risks for people participating in these? How dangerous is it for someone to go through one of these courses?
Well, generally it's not that dangerous. There are many courses that are more dangerous than others, and there are many obstacles within those courses that are more dastardly than the one before it. Quite simply, if you're in shape enough, and I always recommend as a trainer, and I mention this in all of my books, before anybody participates in any sort of physical activity, that they consult their doctor ahead of time to make sure that they don't have any lingering health problems that they don't know about first. But if you're fit enough to walk or jog a few miles, most of these courses aren't outside of an achievement that they're not outside of the norm. You can handle it. A lot of the obstacles are things that you'll never see. I always mention to folks, you're never going to see a cargo net unless you're in the military prior to one of these races. You're probably never going to climb over an 8-foot wall, well, ever in your life, unless you're in one of these races. And really, I hope that there's no other reason in your life that you'd have to jump over fire. But these races put that in front of you. Now, that being said, there is a lot of safety that goes into these races. The objects and obstacles aren't just thrown willy-nilly about the course. Course designers spend a lot of time putting together obstacles that are safe and designing courses that the average person can handle. That's not to say that there aren't good and bad outliers. Good in the fact that there's some really adventurous course designers that create courses that, quite frankly, aren't meant for people to finish. They're meant to be the ultimate of challenges. And the bad in that is occasionally that there are cheapy races that will throw together a course with unsafe obstacles, and those are outside of the norm. For the majority of people, races are relatively safe as long as you take care of yourself. You're the one that's responsible for yourself. You have to get over, under, through, and around obstacles. If you don't feel safe, if you don't feel like you can handle it, then walk around it. Live to conquer the next obstacle.
Thank you. So if someone gets to an obstacle and they think they might not be able to do it, but they're not quite sure, what sort of advice do you have for them?
Well, I always say to try it, but try it with a little bit of intelligence. Sit back and watch other people tackle the obstacle. Look at the people that succeed, watch the people that fail, and learn from all of them. I've actually worked and volunteered and worked on different race courses and gone through consulting on different obstacles with a bunch of different races. And I've sat there and worked with people that were either too afraid to at Alpha Warrior, too afraid to go across the bars 40 feet in the air, or too afraid to jump off the finish line. Showing somebody how it's done is always the monkey see, monkey do mentality. Showing someone that it can be done and it can be done safely is one part of it. So watching other people succeed, or maybe watching other people fail, is really the way for you to learn how to do it. If you still don't feel safe, I say give it another couple of minutes. Watch a few more people. If you really feel like you can't do it, well, then walk around it. Don't try to tackle something that you're not ready for. A lot of obstacles and courses themselves are self-limiting. If you're not strong enough to pull yourself up a rope, then you're not going to climb a rope. It's self-limiting in that aspect. Same for walls, same for anything else. Now, now, fear is a completely other story. If you're claustrophobic, there's obstacles that you're going to want to avoid no matter what. I mean, really, you're not going to overcome a lifelong phobia just because you're out on a race course. If you do, that's great, but there's a really good chance that that's not going to be the case. So it's got to be within your comfort zone. I always suggest that people just stretch it as much as they possibly can to fit it within their comfort zone, but evaluate, and if you're not ready for it, go around it. There's always going to be another race, and there's always another opportunity for you to learn from what your, we won't say failures, to learn from what your shortcomings may be and to come back and tackle them later.
Okay, great. Thank you. Do you have any last piece of advice for someone who might want to get into one of these? And like, what sort of training should they be thinking about doing, and how far in
Well,
advance
first
should
off,
they start?
I think should get into these type of races. The barrier to entry for obstacle races is far below that of any other sport. I mean, you can't play baseball on on a high level if you can't hit or you can't field. Same, if you can't kick a ball, you can't play soccer. Um, and also thinking of other running races. Triathlons are very difficult. Even a road race is difficult. A 5K road race is actually a lot more difficult or has a limiting capacity than a 5K obstacle course. The reason being is a lot of people won't sign up for a 5K road race because they don't feel like they're fast enough, or they're afraid that they're going to walk, and well, they're afraid that people are going to laugh at them if they walk. Obstacle races are different. There's a community aspect to it. If you can't get over an obstacle, then people are around to help you out and to give you support. That doesn't happen in any other races. In triathlon, no one could get behind you and push you on the bike, or hopefully not push you in the swim. But obstacle races are really for everyone. I've seen people of all different ages, male, female, overweight, in shape, people with disabilities, conquer these courses and work with their friends to get over all the obstacles. So I recommend they're for everyone. I mean, I've seen grandmothers on the course. This is no joke. And Tough Mudder too. And as far as training, I always recommend to start with the smaller races. Start with a 5K or shorter. Usually 5K is about the shortest. But with a 5K mud run or obstacle race, OCR is the new term that all the kids are using. But I would start with a small race that you feel comfortable with, and do exactly what I said earlier. If you don't feel comfortable with going over an obstacle, observe it, go around it. Build your way up. You don't start in the sport of triathlon by signing up for an Ironman, and you pay your dues in the sprint and Olympic distance. The same thing holds true for obstacle racing. You show up for some of the smaller events, get a feel for what it's all about, learn how to tackle it, and enjoy yourself. It's really, really about enjoying yourself. Unless you're that 1% that's going to end up on the podium, everybody else finishes with the same time. So enjoy yourself.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much, Brett, for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you.
Brett's book is available in hard copy and ebook formats. And I'm Cindy Washko with U.S. News. Thank you for watching.